All right, we made it to the end of 2025, and the good old chip truck made it without a hitch. Made it from Oklahoma to North Idaho, and it worked all year, and zero issues. I did have the transmission rebuilt because it just needed it. I could have limped it and still been running it, but fresh transmission's what this thing needed, and a windshield. So, end of the year, going over our fine-tuning maintenance. We're always checking oil levels, changing oil, checking even our coolant levels. We're checking brake fluid, steering fluid, but there's some things that go unthought about. I'd say one of the main things is the acidity of your coolant. That's something we don't think to check. We just make sure there's enough coolant in there. We don't check to see if it's acidic, and it's a real issue because over time the ethylene glycol picks up oxygen molecules, because there's a bunch of oxygen in this tank, there's air there, it becomes acidic, and it starts eating away aluminum, and as it eats away at the aluminum acts as a catalyst to make it more acidic. You start getting these organic compounds like glycolic and formic, and these really corrosive chemicals, and before you know it, you have pretty much light acid running around your engine all year long. Why you don't want that is because it eats away at things like inside your radiator. You get pinhole leaks, you get leaks inside your your timing cover, your front housing, depending on the engine. It eats away at liner seals, causes a lot of issues. I mean, think of, you don't want light acid running around your engine. It just eats stuff up. It breaches things and it corrodes things. Especially, this is a liner engine. This is DT466E, phenomenal engine, 5 years, no issues. This is a legendary engine, but you have to keep up with the coolant pH, and you gotta make sure it doesn't overheat. You keep up with those two things and it's gonna last pretty much forever. What happens is the acidity eats up the liner seals. So that's one big issue, and it's really easy to check this. And that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna use these, it's just pH coolant strips. I'm gonna dip in here, and even though I love this truck, if I do drop it, I'm gonna have to buy a new Peterbilt with the Cummins 9-liter and 33K air ride, locking diff. It's gonna be a bummer, you know, if this happens. I'm gonna have to get a brand new chip truck. Okay, probably not gonna happen today. So I'm gonna shake it off, you know. I'm gonna let it sit for a second, and we're gonna check, like 30 seconds, the pH value. First one's pH, second one is glycol level. So as we go over here, and we want our pH on this to be like an 8 or 10. We're gonna go over here. Oh crap, we're like a 5.5, 5. Guess what? At the start of the year, we were at 8. So I need to either add a buffering compound to this coolant, or I need to drain it and refill it with new coolant, because it's become acidic. And the older these trucks are, the faster that's going to happen. Now let's look at the first number. We're like 60%. We got a lot of glycol up in there. I think I accidentally added a concentrate instead of 50-50 mix. I'm going to say we're at 75%. So I'm going to try to bring that down just a pinch today and add a buffer and see if we can get this in the 7, because we shouldn't be seeing red. It should be gray or green or teal on these test strips. So bad coolant in this. The glycol level's okay, might be a little high. pH level sucks. It's like not quite running vinegar through this thing, you know, but not happy engine. And I got little leaks here and there, little, you know, every now and then you shut off the engine and you're like, I smell coolant, can't figure out where it's coming from. It's coming because it's being eaten up. It's probably been doing that for years and years and years too. You know, I've been checking it for the last 5 years. So easy fix, I mean, and check all your equipment. I mean, what happens is we get this extended long ELC or whatever the heck it's called. This engine coolant's good for 150,000 miles. If you run that 150,000 miles, especially on an older truck, it's going to be acidic as crap. Like, it's going to start tearing stuff up. So it's like these new extended oil changes. Like, I got this, you know, brand new F350. Love it. Great truck. They're telling me 15,000 mile oil changes. That's silliness. You know, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. And it's just like with coolant. There's no reason you should be changing it. You know, change it, you know, every 2-3 years, or go off these strips. Then you actually know mostly what you need to do, other than, you know, how much sediments in it, assuming you don't have a coolant filter. So yeah, pretty much in the end, check your coolant pH, like 10 bucks for like a buttload of these. Check all your equipment. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised what's going on. And a lot of coolant leaks are because of this, because you're flowing acidic liquid through it year in and year out, not thinking about it. All right, so we're back today with the supplies we need to fix this coolant. I'm not draining it and refilling it with new coolant because it's like, I don't know, 10 months old. But I am going to add alkaline water. That's supposedly pH 10. So you can get normal purified water. And I'm going to use my trusty Milwaukee transfer pump. This thing is awesome. You're only supposed to do water, but I do like diesel, hydraulic fluid, everything. It has no problem. But I'm just going to suck it out here, because I think if I try to undo the petcock down there or crack any fittings loose, it's kind of cold today. I'm probably going to break something. I know I'm not going to break anything if I do it this way, because I don't feel like fixing broken stuff today. So we're going to hit this bad boy and look at it go. Boom. Drain that bad boy fast. And now it's cavitating, so I might have to get that hose down there. But I mean, that really, sucked up about a gallon in moments. So this thing is phenomenal. So just got done pulling about 2 gallons out with the Milwaukee transfer, and then putting 2 gallons in of alkaline water just got locally from a store, just purified drinking alkaline water. Then I added some of the Royal Purple Ice, which helps with your pH values as well, helps raise them. So yeah, we're going to give a stick a dip, and right off the bat, man, it's looking good. We're about at 8, and 8 or 9, and International wants at 8 minimum. As far as glycol, we're about 40-50% about where we need to be. Maybe add a little bit too much water, but yeah, in the end we achieved the pH values we're wanting, and we also kind of corrected the coolant to water ratio. Keep in mind, this is something I'm gonna have to check here in 8 months, because it's going to do it again. Older engines, they're going to become more acidic, and all that's going to keep happening over and over. But it's just 2 gallons of fluid really I had to subtract then add. So definitely something worth keeping up with, and it's super duper easy. And I'm hoping that's a firework and not a 22.